So thank you very much for those presentations, Kevin and Ramesh. Highly interesting, right? Everyone enjoy those?
Come on, be honest. Be a bit more enthusiastic.
Yeah.
Yes? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's what I like. Thank you. We love clapping. Wait, why is no one clapping today?
Too close to lunch. Too close to lunch,
yeah. Okay. All right, let's kick this off because, look, you heard from me. Very interesting subject, okay? I'm glad to have Nilo up here as well. Nilo has got an extensive background in brand protection. As you know, you heard me talk about he worked with HP, formerly with Intel. You probably also know Nilo is one of our trainers, and he's also one of our auditors for the self-assessment. So, guys, I think we've got the right panel. We just got the wrong iPhone. All right, so let me start with the first question. I think it's not a counterfeit iPhone, by the way. Actually, I've got a story about that, but let me tell you that later. Okay, first question. In the light of the growing global marketplace, how can companies balance the need for robust brand protection measures with the varying legal landscapes and cultural considerations across the region? So maybe, Ramesh, can you take that first of all?
Okay, so I'll take this. I think this is a very interesting topic as well, question. I don't think many of you know this. In 2019, there was a very significant case against LV versus Megastar. It was a shipment involving the knowledge of a shipper, whether can he be held liable. And this question is very relatable to each and every one of you because you are in the business of supply chain. So now, can you be taken to task if you were caught with counterfeit products? The short answer is yes, you can. Will you be found guilty? It depends on your knowledge or whether you're part of the syndicate, but that's a different thing. But the most important thing is that it's the inconvenience that you will have to go through, the legal battle and the cost. So how do you mitigate that? What are the due diligence things that you need to take on? Those are very, very significant, important questions. And in terms of also, to your next question, I think whatever branding that anybody does, you have to be very sensitive into the cultural appropriation as well. So these are the first quick points that I will start off.
Kevin?
Yeah, and I'm thinking is for me, for us, so we are more engaged our legal counsel for any brand protection issues. So because for us, we are more on security side, we don't know the local legal regulations. So for us, we must much closer with the legal counsel. And we also need their helps to collaborate with the government. So because for them, they are understanding the local government requirement as well. So to protect our brand, I think not only to get engaged our legal counsel, and also they are playing a very important role in our broad protection, and also the local government's regulations they are familiar with. So I think the local government is also a very important part to help us to protect our brand in this region. So this is my thought of this question.
Yeah, and look, can I just talk about cultural issues again? Because sometimes it's not seen as a crime, or it's seen as a victimless crime. So how would we address that long term?
So for me, I'm thinking is to, because this is although this is not a crime, but it's a victim for us, for HP, for example, for our brand. But for the long term, I think we need to still to study and to learn those local regulations, and to help us to see whether we can do some legal actions for those victims. So for all those, maybe this is not crime this time, but we are trying to get as much as evidence that we can protect our brand.
Yeah, just to add on as well, there is never such thing that there is no victim. There is no victimless crime. When you are talking about counterfeit, somebody is either losing a job or losing a life, right? If you carry, I always joke about this, if you carry a fake LV, people die out of jealousy. But if you take a fake cancer medicine, you actually die, right? So that's where I'm coming from. And if you're in the shipping line, and if you are in the ship line as well, you need to understand the various legal constraints that demands. If you're going to ship to one country, to Indonesia, you must understand a bit of the legislation. What are the working requirements, and work within the legal parameters. This will be the first way for any discussion.
And look, 98% of medicine, online medicine websites are fake. So how do we get the message out to the public? And then also, is it because they're slightly cheaper that people are drawn to those sites, and that desperation to want to cure themselves?
Can I speak to it? Yeah. So actually, for a brand protection manager representing a company, you should have your organizational policies and procedures in place, because that will be the framework where you can point out once you are accepting for a budget, requesting for a budget. And then, in terms of operating to many cities, many countries, you really have to consider your wherewithal within your company. Do you have a support for legal actions? Is it close by to your sales and marketing organization, because you are supposed to tear down that illegitimate supply chain and you have to replace it with genuine ones from your own brand? So it's about business. In this particular assignment, you really have to speak like a businessman. You have to get money, and how much of the return of that money will come back to the company. For us, in my experience, it should not be minimum 500% return of security investment.
Yep, got it. Next question. So looking ahead, what emerging trends and technologies do you foresee shaping the future of brand protection strategies? Let's give that, Kevin, if you start first of all.
Sure. So I think it's a very young generation here. So I'm thinking for us, we are starting to learn AI technologies in daily works. So I think AI and just like the large language models and also machine learnings, all those kind of the technologies is helping us to analysis and also to monitoring all those kind of the counterfeit or suspected products online, and can help us to build a defense in front of us. And I think another way is on the other side, AI is a good tool, and also we need to consider about ethical. I think ethical is another issue. So for me, my understanding is because now AI is helping us to do a lot of things, just like drawing a map, or they can counterfeit the paintings, or anything they can do. But ethical is a very important thing for us to using these kind of advanced tools to produce those kind of the materials and everything.
That's a very good point, because whilst we're enabling ourselves, right, in the business world, we're also enabling counterfeiters, right? Because as Ramesh said, they're not stupid.
Yeah, just if I may. Even before we go into AI, I think you have to look at the way that the way that we embrace technology right now. Thanks to COVID, the manner that we engage technology is expedited by 5 years. What does that mean? Sale of anything is now done over TikTok, right? You see influencers stabbing themselves because of weight loss. The products of weight loss medications go up. What does that mean for you guys? That means a lot of shipments coming in, a lot of small parcel shipments coming in. And also now telemedicine. A lot of logistics companies now start running their own telemedicine dispensary. So that means they can secure the license, which means now criminal syndicates can come in. This is even before AI. And then we have the metaverse that comes in. Sales and supplies, everything done in the metaverse. So if you're not in the game, you're already out.
Can I just put a disclaimer on that weight loss isn't reflective of anyone in the audience, okay? Thank you for that.
Oh, you guys look amazing.
Okay, what I would say, Tony, is that today some of those security levels, they are called hologram, they are visible in the naked eye. What if there is a UV reader kind of mark on those main products, the outer box, maybe on the shipment? And maybe futuristic thinking, we can make use of the satellite monitoring rather than NFC, near field communication mechanism. So I'm looking at going forward, and then there should be collaboration actually. You cannot just do this alone by yourself as a brand owner. You have to collaborate. We call it private-public partnership with the World Customs Organization, because the inspection is going to be in the border when you're moving the goods.
Okay, that leads me nicely into the next question then. So what are some of the innovative approaches or frameworks for fostering collaboration and aligning interests amongst diverse stakeholders, including competitors? And obviously that's can be dangerous water sometimes, government entities, as you were talking about or alluding to, and civil society organizations such as TAPA.
Okay, let me start first in this. Become a TAPA member.
Thank you.
Right? No, but beyond and above that, I think any intelligence system that we have has to be ensured there is enough data mapping, meaning you have to have enough materials coming in so that the library of the intelligence system can be built. But that is just one step of it. How do we disseminate that information very carefully, very quickly? One aspect. The second aspect, of course, is partnering with government agencies or attending events like this and understanding what is the current dynamic that is in place and applying them. Which means now that you know that you need to understand the legal or have a very tight supply chain, incorporate it into your own visible supply chain as well.
Thank you very much. Nilo?
Yeah. How counterfeit get into your supply chain? There are some leakages in every touch point. The supply chain is many touch points, even to the sublet services. But we have a minimum standard to cover your storage while the product is static, and then it is moving the surface. You have TSR. But I would say that there should be TAPA Plus, which is to cover about brand protection, brand integrity. I would look after the standards going forward once this is going to be rolled out. Thank you.
Okay, Kevin, any thoughts on that at all, especially on the government involvement partnerships?
Yeah. So for my understanding, just like today, we can be here in China, in Shanghai, in Pudong. I think this is all the benefits from the government. I think this is TAPA as an NGO. We can get this kind of the places, and also we can get all the support from the government. I think this is most collaborate with the government. And also, I'm thinking is why we need to using the government. I mean, for TAPA as a security or as a brand protecting. So I think government can help us to solve a lot of problems to in here, so especially in this region. So I think.
Yeah, look, I do tend to agree. You know, if the government knows that more businesses are going to come and manufacture here, because you know, having lived here for 9 years in total, I've been out to the manufacturing plants, and there are some amazing manufacturing locations. You know, some of the products coming out now are first class. So I do agree that that's something that we as a team have got to focus on. Listen, can I just quickly, how are we doing for time? Are we okay for time? 5 minutes, okay. Listen,
3 minutes.
3 minutes, okay. I must buy some glasses, not those fake ones. I'll go back to the technology, okay? Because I do agree the technology is there. So remember what we were saying about AI and data mining, things of that nature. The trouble is that means that companies would have to open up their data to either a common source, or they have to go to a common place to try and do some data mining on their data to eliminate or extract out potential fake shippers. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think Tony, that's possible that every organization can have their IT department, and probably there could be bespoke program that is customized for their operation. Because nowadays, 90% are being sold online. There are even consumer to consumer, personal to consumer. Facebook Live is also a thing currently, and then in a matter of time, the physical retailers will be, off from the competition.
All right, thank you. So we've got a countdown for 5 minutes then, not 3 minutes. So clearly one of them's fake, right? So look, let me ask the audience for a quick vote. Thank you for that vote. Thank you for that. We'll take that as a positive vote. Oh, okay. All right. Have we got a microphone for that handsome man there, please? And while we're waiting for the microphone, can you put your hands up if you think that we all have a social or a corporate social responsibility to address counterfeits in the supply chain? Put your hand up. Who doesn't think we should do that? Because some people didn't put their hand up. They're still discussing. Oh, they're still, all right, still thinking about it, okay. Okay, let's have that question, please.
Okay, this counterfeit is one part of this whole devil game in logistics, basically. So, but the bigger thing is like nowadays other contraband and narcotics especially. That's is a pain. In TAPA, do we looking for some standards to just tackle this problem of narcotics in the shipping industry? Second, my question to Raj. Especially this narcotics, because narcotics is three types, like this natural narcotics, then semi-synthetic, and then synthetic. Okay, so the synthetic part of narcotics is basically leakage of supply chain in pharmaceutical industry. It all raw material come from there only. So is there any solution that PSI looking for that?
That's a very technical question. That's why my voice became very deep. What we have seen in the last few years is that the classification in the customs declaration, instead of indicating the actual product itself for obvious reasons, they will just indicate it's a makeup API used to make anything else other than what it actually is. Number one. Number two, if and when the customs does find out, what do you end up with? A small fine for misdeclaration, customs misdeclaration. So if you want to really curb this problem, perhaps the fine within the customs should go up. One way. The other way is what kind of checks can need be done by the customs. But more importantly, in my opinion at least, would be, can we now do something together with the customs? Meaning, can we share intelligence with customs to say, these are the companies that we know are doing it, so that customs would at least have a red flag. So this could be a working environment, a working thinking that we can work with customs. So again, at the end of the day, if it's a misdeclaration, which criminals do it every day, it's a small fine. But that's just, taking the low-hanging fruits. But if you really want to go to the depth of the problem, must have a sharing culture.
Yeah, Ramesh, that's a very good point. And Jason, maybe that's something. Is Jason there? Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, it's the lights. Maybe Jason, that's something we should take offline with Chris and look at that. So, thank you for the question, and thank you, Ramesh. Any more questions at all? I mean, there must be loads of questions about this. The subject is absolutely massive. The impact is we're talking trillions here.
Yeah. But I'm sure they will come to us during lunch.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, if you don't want to ask something open in the audience, then do. But if you think of it, if we're able to put that into a law enforcement portal, so the sharing of information for the protection and detection of crime, or prevention and detection of crime, that could be the way to cover data protection. Put it into that portal where customs would receive an email pointing out a potential fake shipper. I think it's a good idea, Ramesh. See, so something good has come out of this. I think Ramesh is aiming for his next award next year. He's already scoring points, so thank you for that.
For sure.
Nilo, any points on that?
Yeah, the point that was raised by Ramesh is really good. It worked with us in my previous life as part of the corporate security brand protection. We go to the customs organization actually, in many countries. We do it discreetly, and it will raise some curiosity on them. So once they find that your product is there, they have a contact hotline with us. We have this, and we succeeded in Vietnam, in Thailand. We have a couple of success in the working with close customs organization.
Okay, thank you. All right, I think we've done our 5 minutes. So let me ask you, what is one takeaway from each of yourselves from this whole session? One takeaway, please.
I think the one I take away is Ramesh's photos with his contact way. This is the one I take away for today. So I can contact Ramesh for any other issues related to the pharmacy. So this is what I think.
That's two good suggestions from Ramesh today. So that's, my gosh, he's racking up the points here. Has someone taken note of all these points he's scoring?
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Okay, thank you, Madhu.
The reason is we have R2 Brand Protection Council.
Okay, okay, all right, got it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nilo?
The takeaway is that piracy and counterfeiting is a serious problem, but many organizations just put in a sideline. They just don't know what they don't know. So forum like this is really very important to open up your eyes that we have a problem.
Thank you, Nilo. Ramesh?
Don't buy medicine from Chandra. But on a,
Go on, please. Let's have his question.
But on a serious note, before you ask, on a serious note, believe that public-private partnership works. You must understand that it works, and only then you will see changes coming in. It's not going to be easy, but it is not impossible.
Go ahead, sir.
So my question was, what is a suggestion from you to ensure that 100% filtering can be done before onboarding an agency for an online sale?
There's no such thing as 100%.
At least 60%?
It all depends on how much you are willing to mitigate and what is your risk measurements are like. That's certain kind of level of security that you can take. So, yeah.
Great. And when you told 97 online pharmacy pharmacy products are fake, I'm sure 3% is coming from Amazon only.
We never name and shame anyone.
Yeah, and I think it's fair not to mention anyone. The case study I gave this morning, Yeah, of course, yeah. But look, even in the case study I mentioned this morning, you saw that T&T addressed the problem, and they were adamant that they were going to stop that, and as a result of that, we were no longer the carrier of fake Nike shoes or other products because we literally stripped out of the corruption and within the sales ops and the finance team, but. So I would just want to thank everybody, thank my great panel here. I hope you've enjoyed this discussion. Please have those discussions over lunch, get involved, and I look forward to everybody's feedback. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.